My friends, welcome back to 200 3D CAD problems in FreeCAD YouTube series. Today I want to work on exercise 19. Exercise 19 is a pretty good candidate to be completed in Lattice 2 workbench. So what I will do, I will create a unit, repeatable unit, and then repeat that 6 more times to create the object in Lattice 2. So let's go ahead and start working on it. I want to start by calibrating the image and make it half transparent. Right, I want to keep it on XY plane, and I want to relocate the page at the center of the object. So that's the image processing done. Let's go ahead, start sketching. Now, in the past, when I was talking about the Lattice 2 workbench in a video in the near past, I mentioned that I have always preferred working on the XY plane to create that repeatable unit. For this one, that repeatable unit on XY plane on X axis would be a little weird. Uh, it would be easier for me to actually work on this little part here. So we will do that, and then we will handle that part in Lattice 2 when it comes to it. But again, if you are first time watching this video in this series, a couple videos back I talked a little bit about Lattice 2 workbench, so please go ahead and then watch that, and then you'll understand the basics of Lattice 2 workbench. So I will develop sketch for this part only, or rather half of the part. Let's go ahead and then select our polyline and start from here. So I want to do this line and switch it to arc mode, right, and take it there, another arc, all right. We'll adjust it in a bit, but so there will be, this line will come up to this point, and then this line will be kind of like radial fashion, and it will be final arc between these 2 points. So that's our half the unit that I wanted to build, and let's go ahead and then put some constraints on it. So the radius of this arc is 10, so we can say this is 10, right? The radius of this arc is 32/2, so that's 16. And this arc will be centered at the center, and I want to place this line as a radial line, so I'm gonna go ahead and then take this point and place it on this line. Okay, that makes it over constrained, so we'll come back to it. For now, looks like it's radial already because of this constraint, so that's taken care of. This is vertical line, so we got that one taken care of. Now this is also vertical, so we can place this point on this curve, and that makes it vertical. We want to constrain this arc as radius 4, right? And this point, these two should be the same point, and that point is at on a circle of diameter 60, so the distance between these two is 30. right? One more degrees of freedom, and that degree is the length of this line. What should be, let's say, so this is 20, so the distance between this point and this point is 20. Right, so we got our half unit sketched up, and I want to pull that up by, so this is the one that we just drew, and that is 5. So we want to extrude that by 5. Actually, I want to rename this sketch. So sketch bottom, right? And on top of it, I want to create this little part. So now we have drawn this face, and I don't have the image to support me. In these scenarios like that, what I can do is I can take the extrusion in the reverse side. So I want to take the extrusion on the reverse side. So the extrusion is there, and then I can keep drawing on this face. So now I don't have to actually map it on this face. I can just draw it on XY plane. It will still be there. I want to draw another sketch on XY plane without any offsetting. And on this one, what I want to do is, just for a minute, I want to hide this. I want to pull in this geometry and this geometry. These two geometry will help us actually draw the next face. So now we want to draw this inner side. So let's go ahead and start with our polyline. We want to start with this point and go up there. Okay, something happened. Let's start fresh. So we want to start at this point, right? And take it up here, right? And we want to create an arc. Up to this point, right? And take it up to this point, and then bring it here and make it an arc. Okay, and pull it down, make another arc. So I guess we need to have this point too. Okay, for now I'm just gonna make it an arc just like that. Okay, we'll come back to bring in another geometry, and I want to match it with this point, and finally bring it over, draw another arc, and finish the job. So as I said, we'll have to pull in this geometry. So let me hide this and pull in this line. So these 2 points will be the same, right? And we'll have to update this curve. So this is vertical, right? And this point will come to this center. All right, that's too much maybe. Okay, we'll come to that later. Right, and okay, how about this? So we have these 2 points, it will be similar, the same. And the height of this line, let's see if we have that. Okay, so the radius, it's given, the radius is 6. And what else? Somehow there is a, let me go ahead and then delete this constraint. Let's see if it will help us. Yeah, so this point will be actually at the center, and these two will be the same. Now we have partially redundant, which is these two will be the same, and that constrains everything. I'm sure there is something that I'm missing, but that should work for now. Okay, so there is something missing, but I'll take that as it is. That looks pretty good to me. I bet one of these constraints are messing things up. Anyway, so let me go ahead and close it, and this time I want to bring that sketch. So this is the sketch top. I want to pull that up by another 5. Okay, so let me hide that. Now that's our unit. That is our half unit. What I want to do is I want to make these two as one fusion, right? And then I want to mirror that on this plane, which happens to be YZ. So let me take that YZ plane and then mirror it over. Okay, so we got two parts, and I'm going to rename that as unit. So that's our repeatable unit. What I want to do is now I want to use this repeatable unit, repeat it 5 more times, and the best place to do that is lattice 2 workbench. So we are at lattice 2, and we want to work with polar array. And polar array, first thing first, we want to update the count to 6 because we have total 6 units to replicate, right? And then I think that's it. We are just gonna go ahead and then replicate it with this populate with copies button, and it looks weird. So one way to handle that is to come to the populated array and select first item, and that sorts everything out. And that is exactly where now we wanted that drawing to be. And let me go ahead and hide this polar array and the unit, and I want to make this as a solid. So there is our final object, and let me go ahead and then refine it, hide the drawing. That's our object. That is our object.